Hey girlies, it's Tammy. Welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about colourful eyeshadow palettes. You guys know I love wearing colourful eyeshadow. I mean, I even released my own colourful rainbow eyeshadow palette. So the love for colourful eyeshadow is definitely real over here, as you can tell by my eyes. So I thought I would share with you guys my favourite colourful eyeshadow palettes that I reach for if I want to do a colourful eyeshadow look. They have the pigmentation, they have the colour selection, they have the vibrancy and the depth to show up on my skin tone. And these are just the top colourful ones in my collection. I do have other colourful palettes that I got kind of recently, like the Mitchell Beauty Bay palette and the Glam Light paint palette, and I feel like there was another one as well, but I haven't used them enough to put them in my top colourful eyeshadow selection, so I'm just going with the ones that I've used multiple times before and I know I can trust them. So let's just go ahead and get started. Now you guys know this is going to be in here. It has to be in here. It is my Revolution Tammi Tropical Carnival palette. So this is my second release with Revolution, and this one I went straight colourful. I wanted to throw all of my favourite rainbow shades in here because my first palette I kind of held back on the colour because I thought it was going to be my only collaboration, and I of course wanted it to kind of be for everyone. So I went with like the browns and the neutrals with a pop of purple, green and blue, but it was mostly kind of wearable neutral colours. But in the second one I decided I'm going to do this for me, and I just went crazy and put every single colour in here. I'm sure you guys have seen this palette if you are subscribed to my channel because I've used it so many times, but this is the Tropical Carnival palette. So you have literally every single colour you could ever imagine in this palette, and I made sure that all of the shades are deep and dark. They're not like pastel or neon. They're really nice vibrant shades that will show up on my skin tone and deeper, and it would look beautiful on lighter skin as well. And then you have corresponding shimmers at the top to go along with the mattes, and I've said this multiple times before, so I'm not going to ramble on for too long, but if you did want to do monochrome looks, for example an all red look, you have a red shimmer, an all green look, you have a green shimmer, an all blue look, you have a blue shimmer. So it's really easy to create monochrome colourful looks if you're not into like rainbows and you don't know how to mix and blend. It is a very beginner friendly colourful palette in my opinion, so, and it's only £10, $15, so yeah, definitely pick this up if you haven't already. It is definitely selling very well, so thank you guys so much. Revolution are very happy with how it is going, and so am I. Like, your support has been amazing nearly every day, even till now. It was launched in March maybe. It was launched at the beginning of the year anyway, and even till this day I'm getting tagged in people still buying it. So thank you guys so much for the support on this palette. I really appreciate you. Now if I don't use my palette, the second palette that I will go in with, and I can trust this palette and it just gives me vibrant, colourful, amazing eyeshadow looks, is the September Rose Slush palette. Now this palette, I saw it on Trendmood I think, and I purchased it. It was only like £25 I believe, and the colours inside, guys, are amazing. They're so vibrant and bright, and you literally have every single color in here. I would say they have like those neon type of colors, but they also have deeper and then they have lighter. They have a nice gradient of colors. Majority of the palette is matte, but you do get a few shimmers in here, 6 shimmers in here, and then one kind of matte with glitter inside, but the rest of the shades are matte. And honestly, this palette is amazing quality. I mean, the mattes are so pigmented. They blend together like a dream, and honestly the shades just go so beautifully together. And the lady that owns the company is really sweet. It is an independent black owned business and she's killing it. Speaking of Slush palette, I did go ahead and use the Slush 2 palette on my eyes today. So she did come out with a part 2. This one is very similar, but it is all matte and it is slightly smaller. So it has the same kind of gradient, pink, orange, green, blue, purple, but it doesn't have the shimmers in there. So let me compare it in size. Yeah, so it is slightly smaller, and I believe this one is 20. Don't quote me guys, definitely check the website. I do also have a discount code. I always forget to mention this, but I have a discount code if you want to save 10%, I believe. I'll leave it in the description box just in case you are interested. But I used this today for the first time to create this look. I literally used 2 shades, guys. I used this blue all over the lid, then I blended it out with this neon type of green, and then I went in with a glitter on the lid, of course. And I am obsessed with the quality. Like, the mattes once again blend beautifully. They're really pigmented, especially when you pack them on top of a wet base. Ugh, it's just gorgeous. Oh yeah, and then on my inner corner I used the actual Slush 1 palette, and I went into this gorgeous moonlight green, and it's called Bubblegum. It's this one up here. It literally looks white in the pan, but as you can see it comes out gorgeous blue. Oh my god, I love it. So these two palettes I highly recommend. Now the next one is kind of like a brand in general. So this is the, of course, Juvia's Place. You guys, everyone knows about Juvia's Place eyeshadows. The quality is stunning. The shimmers are so creamy, really pigmented. The mattes blend really nice. Some mattes can be kind of dry, but they definitely have the pigment. They just take a little bit of work to blend out. But I really, really love the quality of Juvia's eyeshadows. It's kind of just, what shade selection do you prefer? For some reason, this is the one that I've been reaching for the most. I do have a few palettes from Juvia's. I think I have like the Masquerade, the Nubian 2, the Magic palette, but this is the one that I gravitate towards every time I go for a Juvia's palette. This is the Saharan 2, and it's kind of like neutral, but not. Like the shimmers put this edge on it because you've got like a blue, a red, a green, like really nice shimmers, but these mattes as well, really deep, dark, gorgeous, smoky mattes. But this isn't really about the palette, it's kind of about the brand in general, because their eyeshadow quality is amazing. So if you do see any palettes that you like from Juvia's, they kind of have like the same quality across the board out of all of the palettes I've tried. So if you find a shade selection that you really like, then go for it, because the brand is amazing. Another brand that kind of popped out of nowhere and is like slaying the game is the Be Perfect Cosmetics brand. I of course have the two Carnival palettes, and I absolutely love the quality of these eyeshadows. They're all okay. All of the palettes I'm going to talk about today are pigmented and blendable, and they are just amazing. I purchased this myself. This is the Carnival palette, and it was like £40 I believe, and I was really impressed with the shade selection. Like, you have gorgeous mattes in here, really foily shimmers, and then you also get two highlighters, which I don't tend to use. I could use them, I suppose, but I do tend to just use the eyeshadows in here. But ever since the Carnival XL came out, I don't really see myself gravitating towards this. I did mention this in my review of the Carnival XL, but they kind of have the same shades in there, like they're even named the same. So this one I might as well sell and get my £40 back, or at least 30, because I don't see myself using it now, especially because I've got the ginormous one. But obviously if you're not into bigger palettes, maybe it makes more sense for you to buy the smaller version. But they are kind of very similar prices. Like I said, I bought that one for 40, and then this one retails for 42. So I mean, they're literally £2 difference or £3 difference, and you get so many more shades. So yeah, I would say go for this one if you are interested in anything from Be Perfect. This quality, oh my god, I'm gonna stop saying it, but it is amazing, and Be Perfect is slaying the game right now. Their price is a little bit up there, of course. £42 for an eyeshadow palette is not exactly cheap. It just depends on your budget and what you're happy to spend on a palette, but I highly recommend this. I love Be Perfect, and I just got their new collaboration with Jar, I believe. It's more of a neutral palette, but I'm excited to try the quality. I did swatch one of the shades, and it was like so glittery and foiled, and it just looked beautiful. So Be Perfect is definitely a brand that I trust, like based on their releases so far. Okay, so this next brand, you're not going to be surprised if you do watch videos on my channel. We have Beauty Glaze. I mean, I review nearly all of their stuff, and I love nearly all of their stuff. This is the recent palette that's kind of blown me away. I did buy a new one recently. Hold on, let me grab it, because a couple of you have been tagging me on Instagram telling me to get it. I already got it. I just need like the time to review it. This one, it's their new Color Fusion palette, and this one has literally every color in the rainbow you could ever want in here. I think the whole middle row, so the bigger pans in the middle, are shimmer, and then all of the rest are matte. I'm so excited to try this based on Beauty Glaze's previous quality. I'm expecting good things from this, so let me know if you want a video on it. Even if you don't want a video on it, it's coming, because you guys know I love Beauty Glazed. So like I said, their recent palette that I've been blown away with is their Your Shades palette. This shade selection is gorgeous, and I thought, like, what is it a dupe for? In my review video I was like, they usually dupe stuff, so like, what is it a dupe for? And loads of us in the comments thought it was possibly a dupe for the Jaclyn Hill Vault, like the vaults in, you know, one palette basically. Someone on Instagram did tag me in an indie brand, and the palette that they had looked exactly like this. So I feel like they copied this, you know, shade selection and whatever from an indie brand, which I'm not a fan of. I'm fine when they copy the big brands, because I feel like the big brands can handle it and it's not really gonna affect their sales. But when when people copy an indie brand, it doesn't sit well with me, because I just imagine like me being a startup company and releasing my first like original palette and someone copies it for like half the price, it would kill me. But at the time that I reviewed this palette, I didn't know it was a dupe of an indie brand, if you know what I mean. So I really love the shade selection, but if you guys can, please support the indie brand, because I don't think the indie brand palette was expensive. I think it was like $20 or $30. If you can support the indie brand, I'm gonna try find it if I can and link it down below, but I really can't remember what the brand was called. Also from Beauty Glaze, I do really like the Pop-In palette, which is a dupe of the Morphe Boss Mood palette. This quality, amazing. The shade selection, gorgeous. If you like those kind of khaki greens, neon greens, purple, pinky tones, oranges, I mean, so many gorgeous shades in here. I love the quality of this palette and I absolutely love the shade selection as well. So yeah, that is another one from Beauty Glaze that I like. Last but not least, we have a brand called Lick and Lash Beauty. This is the Spice palette. They do have other palettes which I am eyeing, like I have my eyes on it, but I have so many eyeshadow palettes, guys. It takes a lot for me to purchase something else, unless it's like this where you guys keep tagging me and you want me to use it, then I'll buy it. I bought this for like £8 as well, and look how huge it is. So when it's like that, I will buy it for you guys, but when it's like a purchase for myself, I'm kind of like, do you need it, Tammy? Do you? And the answer is most likely no. So anyways, they do have other palettes, but this is the one that I have. This is their orangey red and purple type of palette. Now the only thing with this one is there are so many similar shades in here that will look exactly the same on the eyes, so I wish they put like some variations, maybe like some greens and some not oranges, there's orange in here, some greens and some blues, and just, you know, some different types of colors in here. But they do have other palettes, like I said, that have greens and blues and stuff, but this is the one that I have, and based on this palette, the quality is stunning. I just realized I didn't swatch anything in this video, but I'm sure you guys can find swatches online, and most of these palettes I've used in videos as well. So yeah, definitely check out my channel for any videos. But yeah, like I was saying, this is another indie brand and their palettes are stunning quality. The mattes are so pigmented. I don't think there's any shimmers in here. No, this is an all matte palette and it just performs beautifully. If you love warm tones, you're just gonna like die for this palette, because warm tone central with these gorgeous deep dark smoky. This bottom row is like fall in a palette, don't you think? Like, oh my god, these purples, ugh. So yeah, Lick and Lash Beauty is another brand that I recommend checking out. It is an indie brand, like I said. I think it is UK based, which is why I keep eyeing out their palettes. I love indie brands that are UK based, because then of course the shipping, there's no customs, all of that good stuff. So yeah guys, those are my top colourful palettes so far. Like I said, I do have new colourful palettes to test, so this could grow. So if you did enjoy this video, please go ahead, give it a thumbs up, make sure you are subscribed. Let me know what you want to see next, the best of nude lipsticks, the best of foundations, I don't know, let me know what you want to see, and I'll catch you guys in my next one. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye.